how's it going? So the high tunnel has been set up back by the red barn. Paul and Bethany have been working on it the past couple of days. They did a great job. Now it is ready for plants. That is going to be the main goal for today, to move all of the plants from inside this high tunnel and hopefully all the plants from outside the high tunnel over to that new area. So it's going to take some doing, but I think we'll get it done. We've got a bunch of beautiful plants that we just received. I think what we're going to do is take all of these off the tables and take all the tables over first so we can get kind of the infrastructure set up. Then we will come back for plants. Now I swing this way, you can see the plants that are on the outside here, not quite as many out here. And these trees will actually stay here until we use them. I think they'll all be used up in the next maybe 3 to 4 weeks. So anyway, once all the trees are gone, we'll clean that up. I have been excited for this day basically since we broke ground on that property, just tearing it apart, sort of putting in a new infrastructure and getting it set up for what we wanted to use it for. When we set up this high tunnel, we knew it was just temporary. We just set it up because we needed to have something to house plants, and it's worked beautifully right here, but it's super focal. Where you enter our property is right up here. So you look across this way and you just see this big plastic thing sitting over here. Actually looks a lot more tidy than it did even yesterday, because we moved a bunch of things, tractor implements, the tractor, a bunch of palletized stone. We tucked it in back here, and that was all just sitting around kind of in piles out here. So it just kind of became our designated drop point for all the things. I think everybody, I mean, I have points like that inside my house too, like those catch-all places where everything ends up, and then you finally just have to take some time and go through the pile, and you know where everything goes. It's just a matter of getting it all put away. Anyway, I've been excited for this day so that we could take this high tunnel down. And once we have everything moved out of here, we can take the high tunnel down, which will be great for the view coming in. But we're gonna set this high tunnel up right next to the other one, and I'm gonna grow in it. So we're gonna put raised beds like along the wall, and probably raised beds down the center. I've got all those heirloom mums I would like to grow under cover. We won't heat it, it'll just be a protected space. And then it'll be an area where we can maybe do some other growing experiments. It's gonna be so fun, and I'm just so looking forward to having it tucked in the back. Okay, so like I said, we're gonna move all the plants off the tables. We're gonna move tabletops, cinder blocks. Actually, I have gloves for this project. I don't know if we have spiders out here. I actually haven't seen any, but I have seen snakes. Not that they would be up in the tables, but we don't have any poisonous snakes down here. They're small, but they've been hanging out in this area this summer. Also, if we get done in time, I've got 3 more Invincibelle ruby hydrangeas that I know exactly where they're gonna go out in the south garden, but I'd love to get those planted. We'll see if we make it that far. right, guys, it is a new day because by the end of yesterday, we were all so tired. It was a lot of work moving all of those things. I mean, we do a lot of physical work around here, but when you're lifting cinder blocks over and over again and big, heavy, awkward things, that's not normal. We don't do that every day. So anyway, I thought we would get out here today. I will show you both the area where the old high tunnel was because they've already taken it down. Paul and Bethany got out first thing this morning and just tore it down. It came down really fast, way faster than, putting them up. Then we will head back to where the new high tunnel is and I'll show you that whole area. And then I would still like to get those 3 Invincibelle ruby hydrangeas planted. I actually placed them out in the landscape last night and I love them where they're at. So anyway, I wanted to start right up here by our entrance because it shows the view of no high tunnel being there anymore, which I love. Everything looks so far away in the camera, but it was right up there. And as we get closer, of course you could see all the other things we had in that space around it. So we're just gonna take a little drive here. Oh, I love that you just look out and you see like trees, We still have the tree rack up out there, but every other plant has been moved. We do still have one pile out here we're gonna have removed, but like all of this, imagine this horse pasture right here. Oh, it's gonna be so beautiful. And I can see it more now that the high tunnel is down. It served us well in this location for the years that it was up here, but boy, it is nice to have things where they are now. Look at this. So the last remaining item we need to come grab is this hose link. And then we've also got a hose buried, part of the way buried, and then it goes to our water access, which is in a box over here in the grass. It was just the easiest way to do it. So it looks like they already even pulled up the pipe that the hose link was sitting on. And then you can see where our landscape fabric was. So the edge of the high tunnel was here. And then it went, whew, what did I just hear? Swear I heard a snake. There was something moving in that hole. I saw a couple of mice cruising around out here, but that's way too big of a hole for a mouse. That was weird. Did you see the weeds moving? They just were. Okay. Anyway, so right where the weeds are right here, it was kind of like in a little patch in between the 2 rows of landscape fabric. That's where the weeds came up. Like that's what would happen if there was no landscape fabric down. It would look like this all over the place. So it really worked well. And this was our outside plant storage right here. So we will take up the landscape fabric and just kind of clear this whole space even more. And the tree rack remains until we get those all planted. Oh, the open view, I love it. Okay, heading back to the other high tunnel. Oh, look at it back there. Oh, it tucked in beautifully. Isn't it just perfect back here? So we left quite a lot of space between the barn and the high tunnel because we knew we would probably line up some things on the side, just like that. So it's perfect. It gets some protection from the afternoon wind, and we still have enough space to drive a gator, which that was important to us because we need to have access to both sides. And we were able to fit everything from inside and around the high tunnel, including that pile of plants by the fence. All of it is in here or right here. It's just a single file line of plants here. That kind of amazed me. I didn't think it would all fit in here like that. And there's even some space on a table in there. So the next high tunnel will start about 3 feet away from this one. We left a little walkway, one to access the plastic into our shade cloth in case we needed to do anything. But the other reason is if we get a lot of snow load and all the snow falls off of both high tunnels, if they were close together, then that would be a tremendous amount of weight with snow trapped in between that we couldn't remove in any sort of easy way. So having access to this, even like with a shovel to be able to get stuff out, I mean, it's unlikely, but it could happen. And I think it'll be nicer just to have a little alleyway between the 2 of them. So the second one that goes up here will be the one we put raised beds in and grow in. Let's just take a little walk, shall we? Just turned out so pretty in here. It actually made all the plants look fresher to me to get them out of from where they were. Maybe it's because this is so nice in here. I mean, we have the landscape fabric down, just like we did in the other area, but the difference is we had a layer of gravel put on top of it since this is more of a permanent location than where it was before. So it just feels and looks a lot tidier without all those weeds. Look at the asters. There's so many plants in here for the Dreamstream in particular. Like these right here. Some pretty buddleia, the heucherella, the Arctic fire dogwood. We do have some excess shade cloth on the end, and then a walk back down this side. I just love it. Cinder blocks though, oh my word. I don't remember them being as heavy as they felt yesterday. Just thought, oh my gosh. They were yeah, beastly. These kinds of projects are always so satisfying though, when you really get those tangible results and something that looks really tidy and also something that we want to have back here. Today I was thinking it would be kind of fun with these two to frame in just the fronts and then put the shakes on the front like we did with our other one. Maybe I can run up there and show you. In case you can't remember what we've done over there, but it really dresses up the front of an otherwise, you know, not the greatest looking structure. I like it because I know what that means. Whenever I see people with these, I'm like, oh, they're doing something fun in that high tunnel. But see, our other one is just the same. It's just the same sort of structure, but look at the front. It makes a tremendous difference to have something that looks a little bit more fancy on the front. So on the inside, it was just framed in, and there's just that particle board that I painted, and then a custom door, you know, so we could have it be nice and wide. So that's something that we will probably do on those other two in the back in the end, not now. We do have end wall kits to put on them that do have like, I think once we have a zipper door, which will work great for this winter. Okay, let me show you where those hydrangeas are gonna go. All right, you will see them coming up on your right-hand side near the Stokes asters and phlox we just recently planted. Oh, look at those. Now I just had to run out and give the asters water. The drip system only runs every other day out here and it's an off day and I forgot about it. So there's one that's a little wilted. It should bounce fine. Yeah, that one right there. Poor thing. It'll be fine though. I'm going to give it a little extra water too before we're done. But don't you think the Invincibelle rubies look beautiful, kind of tucked in around that birch tree? Oh, I think it'll be so pretty to have the pink blooms that last. I mean, they'll start early in the summer and go through the whole season. Our opalescence phlox usually is in some kind of color all season. And then Stokes aster are in bloom from early to late summer. And then we have plenty of space to do something else around the front of them. Oh, it's gonna get breezy on us here. Let's take a look at a tag though, so I can remember the exact, woo, now what in the world? Oh, it's a little dust devil. That just came ripping through here. That's awesome. It's taken some of the leaves that have already fallen. Nice, that's a good way to clean up. Anyway, let's take a look at a tag here, because I can't exactly remember. 3 to 5 feet? No, 3 to 4 feet tall and wide. Zone 3 through 8, and then they're just gorgeous. Look at this. The color is beautiful. They bloom on new wood, so they're a really easy keeper. We can come out and prune them late winter, early spring, and we cut them down by about 1/3 every single season and keep a nice strong network of branches toward the bottom. But I think they're just going to be a really nice size in this space. And I needed a little space before I do some kind of an evergreen right in here. And then I've got to do some kind of a like little pathway to lead us to our berry area, much like this one is here. And I'm wondering if I could even just continue this one on and kind of do like a little whoop into the grass area so you have more access to get into this space. Another project for another day. For now, I'm going to get these holes dug and get the hydrangeas in the ground. All done, planted, watered in, gave the Stokes asters a little bit more water, but I am so excited to see how this flower bed just evolves. I feel like I could use like a blue grassy texture in here as well. Maybe like something right in here would be pretty. Or something back in here, and then the evergreen. So many fun possibilities. But the hydrangeas are what will bring the fall interest in this space so far. The Stokes asters, I don't know how far into fall they will normally bloom. These have some bloom stalks on them, so we'll have to just see how that goes. They'll also provide some winter interest too with their blooms. you know, their dried blooms. And then of course we've got the birch here for winter interest as well. And you guys, that is going to do it for today's projects. I love where the hydrangeas ended up. I think they're going to be absolutely beautiful there. And we got them in early enough when it's still warm. They'll have time to really root in before we hit the really cold temperatures. And then the high tunnel transformation. Oh, it was a lot of work, but boy, it was so worth it. Huge shout out to Paul and Bethany for the tremendous amount of work that they did on this project, putting up a high tunnel, tearing down a high tunnel, and then they're gearing up to put up another one. And then maybe one day we'll have shakes on the front of them to just kind of tie them into the rest of the things that we have going on. But it feels like every year we get a little bit better at knowing how to be more efficient, I guess, or how to position things to where it makes things easier to do or more pleasant to do, and or more visually pleasant, which I feel like this project kind of had it all. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.